proudly recognizing them as ambassadors of New India, ambassadors of the India which embraces technology, which wants to be at the cutting edge of innovation in the world. But we are also hoping to give a message to all the others in the IP ecosystem that they all have to take up similar challenges, come up with path-breaking ideas, and I'm very confident that the award, for which I would like to compliment all the winners today, will encourage them to do better in the years to come, and will also encourage all the others to aspire to be on the stage for future years to earn the same recognition and respect that today's award winners have rightfully been recognized for. Friends, yesterday we also celebrated International Women's Day, and one cannot but recognize and place on record how important it is for us to integrate our sisters, our daughters, our women of substance into the innovation, into the IP ecosystem. I can clearly see more and more women coming out in the research field with science and technology being their subject, being their focal point. We also have a focus on the role of youth and women in the IP ecosystem and the role of IP in giving a better quality of life for our citizens, for our youth, for our women. And ultimately, it will have to be a collective effort where technology and innovation will help us in our efforts for ease of doing business, ease of living, giving a better future for our country, our citizens. At the same time, very clearly, our talent, our skills, the high number of STEM graduates that we produce every year, all of them will contribute to making India's ecosystem for innovation or intellectual property one of the finest in the world in the years to come. I must appreciate the CGPDTM for having relentlessly worked to bring in the best practices from around the world to integrate India's IP ecosystem with ideas that we are very difficult note with shortage of staff, with very outdated technology, and of course, a huge backlog. A lot of that old backlog we have made an effort to clear. We are still facing some challenges in certain areas for which we are hiring new talent, skilling them, and preparing them to be able to take up all the pending cases. Our idea is that the IP approval process, whether it's trademark or patent or copyright or design or GI, whatever, should be at least amongst the top 5 in the world, so that we can dispose of in a very judicious, fair, transparent, and honest manner all requests that come to this office speedily, efficiently, and effectively promote the culture of innovation. Give a boost to the ideas that all of you come up with and help you in your journey, whether of innovation or brand building or taking technologies to market in a much faster way. Today we've seen some very interesting awardees. We've seen IIT Madras, who was recognized for very path-breaking work done by them. In fact, the incubation hub that they have created for startups uh, is truly phenomenal. I mean, I've visited that, and I wish we could have 50 more of those. In fact, our department should seriously consider working with IIT Madras to upgrade some of the other incubation centers and see what testing equipment, what other equipment, what other facilities, co-working spaces, how we can help particularly the tier 2, tier 3 incubation centers, whether they are located in Sikkim or northern parts of India, any remote corners also. We must try and upgrade the incubation IIT, the incubation centers for supporting our startups. And IIT Madras can be an absolutely correct template for us to work with. I'm also happy that our women have also come up with licensing of new designs in a big way. And I would urge all those who have knowledge of any GI or any new design that may have been created by you or by your friends or by anybody in the ecosystem or something that you are aware is very traditional and unique to some part of India, to take it up for registration in the GI office. In fact, I think we really need to up our registrations in GI very speedily. We're still far behind looking at the diversity and the vastness of India. I think we should be having much more work on the GI front than what we are currently engaged with. Prime Minister Modi had recently said, and I'd like to quote, the increase in patent applications in India is a sign of our youth's rising innovative zeal and a very positive sign for times to come. And I think it's important that we recognize that as we are seeing more enthusiasm amongst innovators to come up with new ideas, we are in fact giving a message to the world that this is going to be the center of innovation. India is going to be the land which will lead from the front in the future when it comes to coming up with newer technologies, newer ways of doing work, and ideas that will withstand challenges in the future and help in our effort for ease of living. In fact, some of the numbers speak for themselves. The Global Innovation Index, we are currently at 38th position. We were at 81 in 2015. And we've seen a dramatic improvement in our ranking in GII from 81 to 38. And I must commend the good work done to enable us to achieve this success. In fact, in patent filing also, we have seen a growth of nearly 215% in the last decade. And our global ranking has also improved from 14 to 6. All of these symbolize improvement, but also encourage us to aspire for more. Ye dil mange more. Friends, we must also look at how we can inculcate the spirit of inquiry, inquisitiveness at a young age in our children. Many of these things, probably at our age or as we grow older, becomes very difficult. I'm sure we've all heard that example of the young child year-old child or very small child, when you throw him up in the air, he doesn't get scared. He has the confidence you'll catch him. He doesn't know what fear is. He's willing to take chances. He has trust. And he's full of life, full of happiness. When you throw him up, he's not sad. He's happy. It's that young, youthful energy that our school children have, that our college-going children have, that we need to tap, that we need to encourage to explore the unexplored, to navigate uncharted territory, uncharted waters. It is at that age where they have the ability to think out of the box much more than you and I, or many of us in this room, the older people, I mean, not the youngsters who are around. Our mind gets conditioned over the years as we are aging. It's that youthful mind which is willing to explore. And if we can, for example, we are setting up 50,000 new Atal Innovation Labs in schools that were announced in the budget. I think these are efforts to build that culture of innovation or that openness in mind at a young age that we from the government side are trying to do. But that cannot be done by the government alone or by government initiatives alone. It can better be done when there is a collective effort of all those who believe in India, all those who have been a part of the India growth story, particularly
मुथूट गोल्ड पॉइंट में जब आप अपना सोना लाते हैं तो उसकी क्लीनिंग, एग्जैक्ट वेइंग, मल्टी लेवल साइंटिफिक टेस्टिंग और मेल्टिंग होती है, जिससे आपको अपने सोने का मिलता है फेयर और बेस्ट प्राइस। मुथूट गोल्ड पॉइंट, वी बाय गोल्ड।
Spend a little time, a little effort as the alumni of whichever institution or school or college you have studied in, and maybe visit there or do a webinar or do a video conference to talk to children there. Help them understand the value of innovation. Help them understand how they can become architects of their own destiny. What a startup is all about. How they should look at crafting their own future with new ideas, with new ways of working. How they should look at problem solving. How they should detect what are the issues which will need some solution. And actually, if you look around, you'll find 100 things. Just standing here, we can detect 100 things which could be done better or smarter. I mean, while we have, of course, other ways of lighting a lamp, but I'm always paranoid when I'm lighting a lamp on a wooden floor. Now, we have other ways of, the bulb and all. Many people think it's not auspicious enough. Some people think it's not good enough in a photograph. Maybe somebody will apply his mind and come up with an idea which can combine both safety and keeping the auspicious nature of it or the element of actually lighting a lamp. Or I was just looking around and seeing the carpet because every time I come to Bharat Mandapam, I would like to make sure that everything is properly maintained, tip-top hai, saaf safai achhi hai. And how do you feel about Bharat Mandapam, by the way? Don't you feel proud about it? How many of you are coming here for the first time? Oh my God, we need to have many more programs here. Thank you for bringing all of them here, Unatji. Isn't this reflective of New India?
Yes.
Doesn't this make you feel, yes, we are entering the age of the developed world? It's important that we all collectively prepare the next generation to also dream big, to think big. After all, so many governments came and went. Some of you must have come to Pragati Maidan, as it was called earlier, before the setup came up. We used to have exhibitions then also, but they were in tents. We used to have small rundown structures. Space was so little that we would have to set up hangars and do exhibitions. Of course, we had no convention center like this, probably anywhere in the city, and despite this being our national capital. And Prime Minister didn't make one, he made two. There's another one equally good, equally grand, if not grander, at Yashobhumi in Dwarka. 7 minutes from the international airport. You can go there by metro from here, probably in about half an hour. And that's equally grand. In many ways, some aspects are even grander than this, for those who haven't visited Yashobhumi. But I was seeing, what I was trying to tell you was, I was seeing the staircase, and I don't know whether there's a vacuum cleaner which takes care of the steps, the risers of each step. There must be somewhere in the world probably, but I haven't seen it. Have any of you seen a vacuum cleaner? We've seen vacuum cleaners clean the carpet, but I don't think any vacuum cleaner can easily clean the riser of each step. But there could be a smarter way of doing it fast, which could go up the steps quickly. I don't know, I'm just telling you. What I'm trying to convey is that there are opportunities galore in our life. You just have to look around, and we'll find enough and more challenges to address. And that is what an open mind is all about. That is what the spirit of inquiry is all about. That is what inquisitiveness brings to the table. And if we all can take what, if you remember, Prime Minister Modi had added to the original slogan, you remember the Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan, to which Atalji had added Jai Vigyan. Mr. Vajpayee, when he was Prime Minister, added Jai Vigyan for science. And Mr. Modi added a fourth element, Jai Anusandhan, innovation, Navachar. And that is the leap of progress, leap of faith in our innovators that Prime Minister Modi has brought to the fore. Today, we have a demographic advantage, a young population. Our average age is under 30 years. We have the gender dividend, a very balanced male-female ratio. We have the advantage of our women coming out in larger numbers and joining the formal workforce in every field, empowered with quality education. In fact, our women patent filing has increased by 345 times. Patent filing by women is 345 times more today than it was 12 years ago. That's the transformational journey our women are showing to the world. And I'm sure if we can take more and more of this message to schools and colleges, if we can get the support of the entire ecosystem related to this office, IP, instead of just intellectual property will become infinite potential. And we are in the midst of an IP revolution, which has tremendous opportunities for all of you, ladies and gentlemen. As Prime Minister said, we need to innovate, we need to patent, we need to produce, we need to prosper. And that's the journey that the IP ecosystem offers you. To make India a developed nation, a prosperous nation, is our avowed goal. It's a collective commitment of 140 crore Indians. 1.4 billion minds are at work today to make India a developed nation. On our part, we're trying to support our startups, our women entrepreneurs, our micro and small units. I think we've cut down all the fees by about 50 to 80%. 50 कहाँ से आया भाई? I thought सबके लिए 80% reduction दिया था नहीं? तो उसको भी 80 कर दीजिए. Yeah, I think we should make it 80% reduction for all women entrepreneurs, innovators, for all our startup innovators, for any filing that they do, for all our micro and small units. Let's encourage them more. Make it easier for them to come to the parent office. Support them in every which way. Maybe even have fast track mechanisms to support them. But let's make the entire process much more affordable, much more attractive, bring it into the reach of every person, the common man. And the way forward, friends, is an Atmanirbhar Bharat, a self-reliant India. By self-reliant India, we are not closing the doors to international engagements. In fact, I've always believed that that will open the doors greater to international engagement. Adan Pradhan hoga. We will gain something from the rest of the world. We will offer something to the rest of the world. There are many things where we don't compete with other parts of the world. We actually complement each other, particularly with the developed world, with whom we have entered into 9 free trade agreements in the last 3.5 years, covering 38 prosperous countries. 38 of the prosperous, well-to-do developed nations, largely, have been covered in these 9 FTAs. And today, India has preferential market access to 2/3 of global trade. We need to cash that. And that is only possible when new exporters come up, new products start getting exported, new services are offered to the world, when new markets are explored. And that responsibility, friends, is on all of us collectively to get the best out of the opportunities that we as government are trying to provide. I can assure you we are hiring a large number of people so that all approvals in the IP office can be speeded up. As I said, I would like this to be amongst the top 5 in the world in terms of speed of clearances. Make it absolutely transparent. Any roadblocks any of you face, please come directly either to the Chief Controller, to Ms. Pandey's office, which handles IP in Manijya Bhavan. If you're not satisfied, come straight to my office. Write straight away to me. Because I look at every mail that comes, every communication that comes on my name, and I assure you the best of attention. Anybody doing any irregular practices in any wing of the IP department, or for that matter, any wing under my ministries or the government, please raise your voice against it. Because our effort is to provide an absolutely seamless, high integrity government business, government innovator interface which will bring opportunities galore for all of you. I'm happy today also, by the way, to see a police establishment get recognized. Salute to you, sir. And together, I have no doubt that we will convert, I'll use a Hindi phrase, our soch to srijan, our thinking, our mind to an actual creation. सोच से सृजन की यात्रा में आप सब सौभाग्य हो रहे हैं, उसके लिए आप सबका तहे दिल से धन्यवाद। आज के अवॉर्डीज को बहुत बहुत बधाई, मुबारकबाद, और कल के अवॉर्डीज को बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं। थैंक यू।
Thank you so much, sir. As our Honorable CIM said, and I would like to quote, that India is going to lead the world from front. And for that to happen, the catalyzing event we need is a revolution that catalyzes our youngsters and women to innovate. क्योंकि जब युवा और महिलाएं अनुसंधान और नवाचार के केंद्र में होंगे, तभी ज्ञान, सृजन और प्रगति का नया अध्याय आरंभ होगा। तो एक बार फिर से हम हृदय से आभार व्यक्त करते हैं सर, आपने अपना बहुमूल्य समय निकालकर हमें अपने प्रेरणादायक विचारों से अवगत करवाया। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। इसी के साथ आज का कार्यक्रम अपने समापन की ओर अग्रसर है। अब मैं यासिर सर से अनुरोध करना चाहूंगी कि वे धन्यवाद ज्ञापन प्रस्तुत करें।
Thank you. Thanks a lot, Mahima. And